when the Kundalini rises, she goes to your void. Where is your dharma? And your dharma gets established. At the Nabhi Chakra, we can say around the Nabhi Chakra, your dharma gets established, which is the innate, pure, universal religion, is established. But then the Kundalini rises higher. Despite the establishment of the dharma, we start becoming little bit aloof from other societies because we find they are adharmis. They have no dharma. Also, I think we are afraid that we might get caught up with their adharmas. So at that stage, we don't want to cross the limits of Sahaja Yoga. Want to keep to Sahaja Yogis, to Sahaja Yoga program, and to our personal Sahaja life. Of course, it is important because first this chakra must be fully nourished. And this chakra is actually moves round the Nabhi chakra, which we know as Swadhisthana. This Swadhisthana chakra is in a way very important because it supplies energy to the brain. So when dharma is established, the subtle energy pushes through the Kundalini more energy for the Sahasrara and also the energy for dharma, which was in the Sahasrara, in the Swadhisthana, also starts flowing with it. It crosses over and starts rising in the Sahasrara. Till then, I would say, we are not yet full Sahaja Yogis. So when it reaches the state where it is established in the brain, that time we go beyond dharma. Dharmatit, we become beyond. Dharma means that dharma becomes part and parcel of our being. We cannot lose it. Such dharma becomes within us a part and parcel, which is a very great achievement because then you don't have to do any rituals, you don't have to worry about meeting other people, you don't have to worry that your vibrations will be harmed. Then you don't catch from anyone. You don't catch also other negative forces. No one can harm you. That I call as the completion of your Shraddha. That time Sahasrara is so fully enlightened that you become dharma. For example, we can give the example of Christ. Christ saw a prostitute being stoned. Now Christ had nothing to do with the prostitute, just the opposite of it. But when he saw she was stoned, he took a stone in his hand. And he says that those who have not sinned at all can throw a stone at me. And everybody was stunned. Why is he taking the side of a prostitute? He is a religious man. He should also put stones on her. But he was standing on truth. That's exactly what happens to you when it is established in Sahasrara that you stand on truth. There's a little difference in I would say, in dharma and in truth. A dharma person might become too dharmic, illogically dharmic, and go to the right or to the left. A dharmic person might think he is the superior person to others. That why should he try to save anybody else? Let them go to hell. Who cares? This kind of an attitude can come in a person who is dharmic. Also, I have seen some Sahaja Yogis who start new methods in Sahaja Yoga. You do like this, so it will be all right. You do like that, it will be all right. Because they are not stagnated at the point of dharma. So they start telling people that you do this way, do that way. But when you rise to the point of truth, then you don't do any rituals. You don't need any ritual. You are not bothered. Because you are in dharma. And here you are standing on the truth. And truth is much greater than dharma. For example, a person who is standing on truth, he doesn't care for any absurd ideas about religion, even about Sahaj religion. He doesn't care that after all this is Sahaj, this is not Sahaj. He goes beyond. In the sense he sees a global truth within himself. He sees the truth which is all-pervading. Not only sees, but he knows and he feels, and he is in that truth. So when dharma flowers into truth, it's a very beautiful happening, and that should happen to all of you. So many things can linger on if you are only on the dharma level. I have seen people going into ego, making money. Sometimes they don't even ask me and go on doing things which they should not do. They do wrong things which are not good for such. There is no humility about it. And they don't understand that whether this dharma is standing on truth or untruth. So we have to go to the foundation of dharma, which is truth. As described before, it's a tree of life which has got its roots up in the brain and the branches in the body. So you have to go to the roots of everything, and that is the place where you reach when you are absolutely established in Sahasrara. In the Sahasrara are the roots of all these ideas we have, or we can say all these swarupas we have taken. We have now become dharmic. What is the root of dharma? Why should we be dharmic? What is the need to be dharmic? There are many people in this world who are extremely adharmic, living very well. According to, outward expression, we feel that they are very happy people, they are all right, they are enjoying themselves, while we are deprived, perhaps, of all the so-called enjoyments of these people. So, at the state of only dharma, things become very important to us, which may not be standing on truth. There are so many things like that I can point it out to you, that how Sahaja Yogis falter even after achieving dharma state, they falter. I have seen people giving up their drugs, alcoholism, giving up other kinds of addictions, even their language improves. And their, we can say, behavior is changed. They become humbler people, no doubt. But still, they are conscious that they are standing on dharma. This consciousness has to disappear. At the stage of Sahasrara, this consciousness disappears because truth is love and love is truth. That is the point where the Kundalini meets the heart chakra. As you know, the pita of heart is here. So when Kundalini pierces through that heart chakra, what starts flowing in the brain, in the Sahasrara, is the truth, but truth that is love. There's a difference between truth as itself and truth that is love.